Hello. Hey.
Hello. Once our videos arrive. Hey everyone.
Hello.
The few people watching. Ooh. Yes, this is me at Meeples Peoples and Blurry Darius for a second.
Hopefully not too long.
No, it flickers your webcam, but yes.
I'm being sponsored by Minecraft, so that's why occasionally I go pixelated.
We've played it enough. But yeah, we are doing our top 10 videos today. This is a complete new thing for us, so bear with us, because I have literally spent the day sorting out the scenes and getting stuff done. I'm hoping it looks good.
And I've been supervising.
Yeah.
And not really doing much apart from hoping that Jay knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Hopefully we've done it right. We're going to do the good old top 10, obviously starting from 10, working our way up to number 1. We will have a little natter about our games. You all probably know them. Most of you, if you know Darius, could probably guess his.
I don't think they can. The amount of people that think they know number 1, but they don't know.
I think the only person, if Amy's watching, she will know my top 10 because she was there when I was writing it out.
I know it.
Yeah, but yeah, should we start? And people can message. Do you know what? Your name hasn't changed. Sorry, that's really annoying me. There we go. Sorry.
Oh no.
Above your head, it was your login, and it was annoying me.
There, right.
It's gone fuzzy.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of many top 10s, I'd hope, to get people engaged. We thought we'd start off with, quite simply, our top 10 favourite. I think we could maybe take some votes on top 10s we should do next.
Yes, comment on one of the platforms. Let us know what you want to see a top 10 of.
Overrated, underrated.
Most hated games.
Most hated, yes. Also, I know that you always wear a hat. I never see your hair. So I thought, in honour to you, I'd actually wear a hat as well. So I hope that's okay. How does it look? I'll probably take it off in a bit, but...
I would say I'd take my hat off, but no.
I don't have a games one like you, so this is as close geeky as it gets. BB-8, stolen off Jess.
Yeah. I didn't get my stupid hat for what we were talking about. So we will start with my number 10. And this is Deep State. Probably most of you guys will not know this game. This is it's me and Darius, actually, we agreed that we can do Kickstarter games. If it's funded, it's acceptable. So this is one that is a funded game. I think it's not shipping till next year or later in this year. I had a review copy, and me and Amy, we couldn't put this down. It was literally, we've never got a review game where we've played it so much so quick. It's one of them games, we've still got it, and obviously we've not been doing much gaming lately, but it's one of them that we just love. It's just so fun little game. It's actually on Tabletop Simulator. I'm gonna try and get Darius on it.
Yeah, I've had a look through the rulebook earlier. It looks really fun.
The rulebook. The rulebook is so simple. It is literally, you've got two books. One's your rulebook. One's your literally reference to every card in the game, and then you've actually got your quick start cards, and that will actually, you don't even need the rulebook. You could just read them, and that will tell you everything you need to do. It's that simple, but it's so fun. It's a hand management set collection. It's just so fun. Check it out. Check it out on my YouTube. It's a fun game. Definitely.
Look forward to playing it with you.
Yes, it's definitely one. If you guys want to play it on Tabletop Simulator, I'm happy to play it. Now we'll move on to Darius's 10.
Okay, and it should be.
Now.
Is it there now?
Yep.
Throw it in. This side? Yeah. Please throw it in. Number 10. Absolutely love this game. I'm a big fan of Tetris style polyomino type games. I love just fitting shapes in, but this one's just it's heavy but in its own right. Every time I play it, it feels like a real puzzle. Yeah, it takes 2-3 hours, but I enjoy every minute of that game. yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of different strategies. I'm rubbish at it. I'm really bad at getting. I can sometimes hit 100 points, but barely ever. But yeah, no, Feast for Odin is a great game. I really enjoy it at all player counts, actually. However, 2-player I do find best, and I'm not much of a solo gamer, but I really enjoy Feast for Odin solo. There's a really cool mechanic in solo where you're essentially playing 2 characters and you block yourself round on round. So I really like that solo mechanic. Yeah, you haven't actually played it yet.
Still one I've not played. I borrowed it for ages and it never hit the table. So hopefully.
I'm long awaiting to get the expansion. I've heard the expansion adds lots of different strategies, so can't wait to get my hand on that. It's just as expensive as the base game though, so see if I ever get into that.
But that's like the Lord of the Rings game, the one with the app. That is the expansion for it coming out is, I think, 40-50 quid. The game was 70 quid, and it's like, really?
The thing is, if I find it, I'm going to pay it. That's the annoying thing. I moan about the price is the same, but I'm going to buy it as soon as I get it. Yeah, really, really big fan of it. I haven't played it for a little while yet, so I think that's going to be somewhere on the page, a playthrough, maybe on Meeple's Peoples. We'll get that set up very soon.
Definitely. So
and that's also on Tabletop Simulator, and I've got good mods. So if anyone wants a game on there, let me know.
So, number 9 for me.
Number 9.
This one is Obsession. So this one it's my secret love game. It's set in Victorian England. It's effectively the old style, what is it, Jane Eyre and all, you know, the really old style sort of theme in Pride and Prejudice. It's that sort of world, but the mechanics and everything in it just work so well. Everything makes sense for it. It's a worker placement, it's one of them that it just works well. Amy loves it. I actually bought it for Amy. I think it was actually someone on the Meeple's Peoples group posted about that they got it and on Kickstarter, and I thought, oh okay, I'm going to look that up because I thought it's a perfect game for Amy, and tried it, and it's like, oh wow. I've actually done a playthrough video of this, and kindly the company, the bloke who makes this game, saw that we done the playthrough of it, and they did a second edition Kickstarter with new expansions, and they're sending us a free copy of it with everything. It's a bigger box, everything, so we're getting a whole new free copy of it because we did a review on it and we said how much we liked it, and it's just like, oh my god. So but it's one of them games, you look at it and you think, I'm going to hate that. I mean, that was literally my opinion. I looked at it and went, nah, not going to play that. But then I play it with Amy and I'm like, this is so fun. It just works. Every sort of, you've got to try and collect rooms for your mansion, your townhouse, your state house, and you're trying to collect certain rooms and trying to get certain things. And the whole point of the game is you're trying to get the best social ability to date these 2 members of another posh family that you're trying to get into, and it just works so well. The bloke who made this, he just polished the mechanics. It's one of them games where you just think he definitely spent his time making sure it works well, everything about it. There's not one thing about the game where you think, oh, that could be better. It's just a perfect game. I think Amy and Sarah played this at the last OnCon.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's one that probably we will be taking to the OnCons. We'll probably take the new fancy big box that comes with all posh inserts and everything.
Throw it into it.
But yeah, it's one of them that if you can play it, it's worth it. It's the theme is, ignore the thing. Ignore if you think, oh, I don't want to play that because it's Pride and Prejudice. Ignore that. The mechanics work. It makes sense, and yeah.
I'm guessing it's one of those viticulture or rococo type games where if I explained the things to you, you would never play it.
Yeah.
Wine making, dressmaking, you wouldn't. But when you play the game itself, until you actually play it, you won't know.
That was exactly me. I was like, I bought it for Amy, and I was like, never going to play it. I thought I'm going to do it occasionally and play it just because I'm a not. Yeah, I just thought I'd buy it. It's there. It's got solo, so I thought it's good for Amy. But then we play it, and it's like I think I actually mentioned that I want to play it more than Amy now. And so yeah. So yeah, Obsession. That is my number 9. Let's move on to Darius's number 9.
Do you know what? I was really tempted to just put number 9 as my number 9. You know the game number 9?
Yes.
I didn't. I thought I'd take this seriously. So number 9 is Luxor. Absolutely love that game. It took me a little while. It was actually Peter and Lenka at the All Around the Ball Club who taught Jade first. Jade went and played it while I was doing. I can't remember what I was doing that particular night. And Jade came back and said that game's fantastic. Now it's a very simple game, but the reason it hits my top 10 is just every time I play it, the mechanics are so unique that I don't get bored of it. It's almost. Have you played it, Jay?
I think I played it with you once. I think it was after. I think it was maybe after OnCon. It was one of the games we played afterwards.
But it looks and feels like a roll and write. Not a roll and write. Sorry, a roll and move. Oh my word. You know. You're getting your cards in hand and they tell you your movement, but I really like that mechanic of basically you have 5 cards in hand, you can only spend one of the end cards. When you spend one, when you get another one, it goes in the middle of that deck. So you can pre-plan about 3 to 5 of your turns in advance. But there's a lot of strategy to such a simple game. And every time I get it out, I never get bored of it. I've also got the Mummy's Curse expansion for it as well, which adds a lot of fun, a lot of a more take that feel to it. You can really mess with other players' turns on that. And there's also the expansion adds 5 players instead of 4, which I really enjoyed because the more players, the better the game is. And you've also got individual player powers now, which again makes every game different. I think there's about 8 in the box, so you can have 8 different games with a completely different power. So yeah, for such a simple game, they've done a lot with it. And I've got some promos for it as well, which makes it a lot of fun.
I think we might have played that actually all around the board. I'm trying to think where I played it with you, but I know I've played it, and I lost miserably.
We played with Tom and Marion,
maybe. I think I lost miserably. I think I really badly lost. But
I'm awful at the game, but it's just one of those ones that I love. Even though I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's number 9, Luxor.
Cool. So, my number 8. This is Leaving Earth. This is one that I know Darius loves. This is one we attempted a mega game of it that I'm not going to say it was successful.
Never again. Never again.
Yeah.
It's a solo or a 2-player game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's one that needs a lot of time, a lot of brain power, but it's so fun.
It's not you can just play it whenever you want. You need to sit. You need to sit down. You need to actually make a thing of it. It's like you're learning. You don't just play the game. You have to sit there. You have to work out the mass of the rockets and how much thrust you're going to get. You're literally sitting there. You're probably playing the game for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you're sitting there for 15 minutes doing maths and working stuff out. It sounds awful, but it is so you feel like you've achieved something when you go, my ship's just landed on the moon. And
it's dramatic.
Yeah.
It's maths.
You just literally, once you achieve something, you're like, oh my god, I've just done that. I've just worked this out. You have to test your rockets before you can launch. You have to literally, it is so, it's a challenging game. You can pretty much say it might not even be a game. It's a job.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't feel like a board game.
Yeah.
It almost feels like one of those mega games, where you have about 80 people involved doing different jobs. It's so in depth, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we had our mega game, it was sort of okay. It was just chaos. I think we needed a few more people running stuff. I think we needed
a learning curve from
that. I think if we did it again, I think we could do it, but we'd have to have more people running things and doing the management.
I tell you the main issue we had with that night. I obviously for about a week or two beforehand, we posted the rule book. We explained what people would do. It came to the night. There's 25 people in the room. Who's played? 2 people put their hand up. Yeah. That was a big issue. So we had to teach 23 people that game.
Yeah.
That was very difficult on top of running it. So you're right. If we had more people running it, use something else for money as well. We run out of money so quick.
Yeah. It was because normally you spend your money quite quick, and you had a lot of people that were hoarding money. I've never seen that in the game before. That was the thing. People were hoarding money, and it was like, whenever the amount of times I've played this, I've never hoarded money. I've spent it literally every year. I spend my money.
We house ruled that though, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we ended up house ruling it.
I think we'd have to take that off and find another way of then tallying it, because people could save their money round to round. It just completely broke the game. Yeah. We'll try it another time.
And then you had people trying to pay other people to try and do this. They were bending the rules. In the rule book, you can do stuff like this, but there was rule bending that was that little bit too much, breaking the game.
Yeah,
it was.
Some people, could have calmed it a little bit.
It was fun, but at the same time, it was chaos. I did try and record it, but this was back before I had any decent recording equipment, and the recordings were awful. The sound quality was awful.
Yeah.
It just wasn't worth doing.
With us running it in latecomers, we had about 30 people in that room.
Yeah.
So noisy, but such a good game. Really good.
I think it's one that I want to do a playthrough of one day. But it's going to be obviously edited down to where I'm sitting there doing maths, or I say me, if I'm playing it with Amy doing the maths.
No offence, but I don't want to sit there for 20 minutes watching you do maths.
Yeah, exactly. that it would be literally me going, "Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, we could do this," and it would be like a shortened version of the game, but it would still probably run like 2 hours.
I'd like to mention how educational that game is, because soon after we played that big game, then I played it a few times with you. I actually went up to the International Space Centre in Leicester, and I walked around actually knowing what they were talking about. It was great.
Okay, if you ever play Kerbal Space Program on PC, sorry, not board game related, sorry people, but if you play that will literally teach you everything about the how you have to get into orbit. That is, I think even NASA use it for testing space launches.
Really? Wow. Okay.
The physics are real on it, so it's another sit there and you have to work stuff out. I just sit there and just put the cheats on and just send rockets up. And if I can't launch my rocket, I just cheat it into space. PC games.
Okay.
Yeah.
NASA don't employ this person.
SpaceX nowadays.
Oh yeah, SpaceX. Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. Cool. So that is my number 8. On to Darius's number 8.
You were shocked by this.
Yes.
You're very shocked. Is it on the screen?
It's on the screen.
I imagine there's some people shaking their head at me right now. It's Terraforming Mars, number 8. It's a wonderful game. I really do enjoy this game. The reason it's not all the way up the top is because it's just not one that you can get out easily. It doesn't matter how much you know that game, it still takes 2.5 hours. If you play it 2-player or if you play it 5-player, it's 2.5 hours. There's no leeway of it's a quicker game when it's now. But the thing is, when I play it, I absolutely love every minute of it, and it never feels like a 2.5 hour game ever. But what I think the other thing that gets to me is all the little rules. And that's maybe why it's not up in my top bracket. It's all for example, if you put out an ocean tile, if you put out a city tile next to an ocean, you get the 2 money, plus you get the bonuses under the tile. Oh, don't forget when you put the greenery tile, you get an oxygen, which also gets you a point. It's all those little rules. It makes it hard to teach. cards everywhere. It's that I don't like that because it makes the table look really messy. However, the game is fantastic. I just wish there was a slightly shorter version. Also, I will never play that game without the draft variant.
See, I don't, but that's only because I just never got round to it. But now I play it on the PC, I don't think I will. I will always do the draft variant. It's just, before that, I just couldn't be bothered. That was just like an extra rule. I was like, there's enough rules already, I'm not bothering with that.
I just find that if you draw your 4 cards, if they're rubbish and you're not playing draft variant, well, I'm not getting those. Then you just end up just doing basic actions. Whereas with the draft variant, you could draw 4 rubbish ones. All right, well, I'll keep that one that's mediocre. Then your opponent passes on. Likely that you're going to then end up with something you do actually want. So,
unless they have 4 rubbish ones.
And also, there are better games, in my opinion, that are coming. So,
yeah, I still, for me, I'm looking forward to the big box expansion coming 16th.
Yes, I likely get that, although it's just storage and tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be everything.
It's got some promo cards. I think there's some new promo cards with some extra tiles for the promos.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I have been checking it out, and they are saying there are some, but for me, I think it's price, and I don't think I can afford it. I wish I could.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
I haven't purchased. What's the latest one?
Turmoil.
Oh no! That out of all the expansions, I honestly do not enjoy that one.
I backed it for the player boards.
Okay, see, I already have player boards.
Yeah, I know I did, but I hated my player boards. They were wooden perspex, and I just really hated them. They were just too big, too bulky, and the Turmoil expansion came with these. They just look so much nicer now. They've changed the style of them. They look different, and I thought, do you know what? I'm backing it just for that. I'm literally. I think I paid like 20 quid for my player boards, and I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna just buy a expansion for something that's, I will play it.
Have you played with Terraform yet?
No. Okay, I've not actually played Terraforming Mars since.
It adds. The mechanic is really cool. It's about getting your people into power to fund a certain area. That's really cool, but it's just it's not worth adding the extra time that it adds. Because it will go, okay, cool, yeah, I'm going to get 1 plant for every city in play. How many cities are in play? Well, 4. Okay, so it's just minute little bonuses that I would just play without Turmoil personally.
Yeah.
But it's probably one I'd get just to complete the collection. I'm on the fence about buying it. Let's say that. And also, there is a fantastic co-op module, fan-made on BGG. If anybody wants to look into it, it is absolutely fantastic. A cooperative game of Terraforming Mars is brilliant. I really hope that one day they actually get in contact with this person and get it developed, because it works so well. So
I'm just replying to a comment. I might just say, it's our top 10 favourite games.
Who's commenting? Hello, whoever's commenting.
Yeah, it's our top 10 favourite games.
Okay.
I'm not going to try and say name. Because, But yeah, it's,
Cool. That's
cool.
Yeah, that's my number.
So,
right, Terraforming Mars.
On to my 7. And this is This War of Mine, the board game. This is probably, again, this is one that a lot of people will hate. It's a depressing game. Not gonna lie, it is so depressing. The stories, the events that happen, you do at the end of the game think, wow, my life is so good, because it's so bad. It's literally the events. I mean, I can't remember. I'm trying to think of one of the events that happened for me and Amy. We went into found a building, and there was this kid bouncing a ball against the wall, sitting in this demolished house, and we could either kill him, rob him, or let him go, kind of thing. They're your options.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's the kind of thing you're doing during the game. You're literally deciding the fate of people you're meeting during the game. The storybook is like that thick, so you're forever certain locations in certain things. You're trying to go to this location. You'll read a part of the story. You can get an app as well, and it will tell you to go to this, and then you do more options. And I mean, there's one option where you find this rotten food, and you can choose to keep it or not. And then if you actually eat it, you end up getting seriously ill, and you could possibly die. Chances are, when you play the game, you start with 3 characters. When you end the game, you've probably only got one of your original character. All the others have died from either starving to death, from being shot or attacked while going out. It's so hard, but it's just so fun. You actually feel like you've achieved something when you get to the end. Again, I've got this on PC, and I love this game on PC. I think it's actually based off the PC game.
Yeah, it's a video game, isn't it, originally? And
they have done such a good job to do the feeling of it. It literally does feel like it. It's not the happy joy game like some people want, but but you feel like you've achieved something. You feel like at the end of it, you're like, wow, that one person survived all the way through nearly freezing to death, being starving, doing all this. You're upgrading your house, you're boarding up the walls, you're doing stuff as you go in. You're making, like, you can make a bed, because originally you all sleep on the floor, but you can't actually all sleep at night because you need someone guarding. At night you can only go out and explore, so you have to send someone off to explore. You kind of deciding what to do with people, when the more ill and hungry and that, the less actions they do. So you can get to the point where you've got one character that can't do anything. He's pretty much taking up your space, and you're like, yeah, let him die, because potentially you potentially get someone new turning up.
Yeah,
it's one of them sort of games you kind of have to go, do you know what, I'm going to sacrifice that guy. They don't hold much when they go out exploring. They want cigarettes every day, and they get depressed if they don't smoke or have coffee or whatever. They're useless. Let them die. Get someone good.
Get rid of them.
But then when you get someone good, when you get someone to turn up, they're always injured, or it's a penalty for getting someone new. So you kind of have to go, okay. But once you get a good house going, you can literally survive without even going out. You can work it out that well. You can have, like, catch rat meat and catch water, and you can literally get to the point where you think, do you know what, I don't even need to go out. I can just try and get the X amount of days, and hopefully the only time you need to go out is to try and complete the main mission. But yeah, it's depressing but fun. and at the moment with lockdown, you want to play a game that you think, do you know what, my life's not that bad.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, so it's one of them games where you play it and you're like, do you know what, it's not all that bad at the moment.
Brilliant.
Sorry, yeah, it's Pushy. That's who it was. Sorry, I didn't want to, because you've got your full name, I didn't want to try and attempt to say something. It was Pushy that commented. Yeah, so yeah, that was my number 7.
Cool.
On to Darius.
So it should say Gaia Project. I can't see it, but you guys can. Gaia Project. So another space game. I think I'm a bit like you with enjoying the space games such as these. I know this is one that you said you want to play.
I've got so many.
Gaia Project's a very heavy game. Takes about half an hour per player, but there's no battling in it so much. It's just a nice Euro game of, I'm controlling this part of the galaxy. You're building up. You've got a faction that will have a certain player ability. There's 14 of them, by the way, so you'll never get bored of the game. 14 different factions you can play. And you're essentially, it's just a bit of area control. Not really a worker placement. I'd say it's more area control.
Do you want me to go BGG?
Selecting your actions. what I quite like is it's got that similar feel to Terraforming Mars in terms of it's one action, next person, and you keep going until everyone passes. But there's just so much stuff you can get, and you're essentially trying to go for as long as you can with the little resources you have each round. It's weird how you can feel like you've got nothing left to do, but then you look at one action and go, oh, well, no, if I do that, that will let me do that, then that will let me, and it's just working out those combos as you play. And even though it's not, it's a passive-aggressive game, because you're going to get benefits the closer you build to one of your opponents. There's something called a passive energy charge. So the closer you are to an opponent, when they build, you'll get energy charge, which then allow you extra actions. But yeah, just a really nice, fun game. It looks amazing on the board. Because once you've laid out that map, it actually looks like a map of space with all the planets. I really enjoyed Terra Mystica, which is its fantasy version beforehand. But I find that Terra Mystica is not too great with 2 players. You kind of need more with that. The rules are basically the same. However, Gaia Project have got those minute changes that make it a fantastic game compared to Terra Mystica.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely recommend that. Again, it's there's a really good mod on Tabletop Simulator. So if you yourself or anybody wants a game of it, hit me up.
Definitely up for that.
See, very good game.
We're all about Tabletop Simulator in this type of world we are in now.
Yes, yeah, that's it. It's all digital now. It took me a long time to change, but
yeah,
it was to make a plunge, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's mine, number 7, Gaia Project.
So on to my number 6, and this is Solar-Storm. So again, this is another one. See, I've got 2 newer games on mine that are not even released yet. Actually, technically, I should be in the post right now, Darius.
Yes, it's due this time next week.
Potentially, up to this time next week. We'll have it by this time next week.
Yeah, Simon posted on today on the board game trading chat.
Yeah.
Which I was so happy about.
Yeah, same.
And in fact, did you see Aiden's reply when I said, what did I put on there? Oh, my copy is somewhere within that.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said he knows for a fact that our ones are already out.
Yeah.
So, yes,
yeah.
I cannot.
So, yeah, this is kind of pandemic-y, kind of Forbidden Island. This is that sort of, your co-op, you're working to survive, to fix this shit, get the engines going before you fall into the sun and die. Again, another sci-fi game. We do. It's also. I'm looking at my list, and there's a lot of space. But yeah, this is such a fun game. Again, another one on Tabletop Simulator. Hook us up if you want to play. It's one of them games where I've played this loads, even with Amy. I've played it, and I've never won. I've been one move away many a times from winning. It's evil. It's an evil game, but it's so fun. You always wanna play it. You wanna do. You're like, you finish a game, you're like, I want to go again. Or me and Amy do. It's one of them games where we're like, we want to beat this game. We're annoyed because we had to send it off to another previewer, so we never got to beat it. So we cannot wait for it to come on the post. I've actually been sent an extra copy through Aiden because of reviewing it, that I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't know if I think it's going to be with Darius's club. You're thinking of an event.
Yeah.
I think we're planning on doing you're planning on doing, it's like a pandemic tournament but with Solar-Storm.
Yeah, so Pandemic do something called Pandemic Survival, which is the same game of Pandemic that's set up across multiple boards, and 2 players at a time attempt to beat the same game. I know there's some extra rules in there, but what I had the idea of, and I said to Aiden about it, was having, I think there's about 5 of us in the club that have backed it. So if we get all 5 copies, stack the deck exactly the same, and we can see which teams can beat it and which can't.
Yeah.
And then we'll try like a knockout tournament, or we'll do something tournament related to Solar. And Jay, you've kindly said that you're. And
they will win a deluxe copy of Solar-Storm. So that Aiden has kindly given to me. But yeah, this is definitely one of them games where it's so fun. It's just you curse Aiden at the end when you lose, but you're like, it's so good. You just want to play it again and again and again.
Aiden's the new Matt Leacock.
Yeah,
Everybody hated with Pandemic, and now it's Aiden.
Yeah,
you're the pain.
You are now Matt Leacock.
But I've said to Aiden too. I think what this game stands out from the Pandemic, and because it has got that feel of Pandemic and Forbidden Island, like you said. But what makes this particular game stand out as a co-op for me, it's very simple, but it's just that save action.
Yeah.
You know where you get the +1s. There's so many times when you're in Pandemic or in Forbidden, and you go, well, I don't really know what to do with my other two actions, so I guess I'll just move there, or I guess I'll just take off another cube. Yeah. But that whole, there's nothing I can do now that's useful, save action. That makes the game for me. I know it sounds really silly, but honestly, it gives it a completely different feel to those other games, and it makes every action you do worth it.
Yeah, and the actions you can do in the rooms once they're repaired, they make a massive difference, especially because there's the expansion in the deluxe copy. There's a mini expansion with new rooms, so they're going to be good to try. But I always like the I think it's the garage where you can actually sit in there. And you can actually repair rooms from that room, so you can literally sit in there.
Repair centre.
The repair centre, yeah. So you're sitting in the repair centre, and you can repair all the other rooms, so you can save your actions for a big burst at the end. We actually forgot to do that when we played it on Tabletop Simulator. I should have done that.
I've got a new strategy, by the way. Me and Will played it on Tabletop Simulator the other night, and there's something we did. I'll tell you about it after the video. It makes a difference. We managed to do 7 out of 8 of the room.
Okay, see, me and Amy have managed 8 out of 8, but we needed one more move to get to the final room, and But I mean, definitely, guys, when this is in shops, check it out. It's so fun. If you like Pandemic, if you like Forbidden games, you'll love this. You'll probably love it even more because it's just like Darius said, the save action. There's so many little good things about this game. But
I feel step up on that co-op feel. Yeah, definitely.
We'll move on to Darius's number 6.
Cool. Where's my number 6? There it is. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, Pandemic Legacy.
Legacy, yes.
So this is where we had a big debate. If we were including legacy games, or would that include all of them? Because if that was the sake, I think it would be a lot of another game that's about to come. So we agreed that it would cover the whole lot. So Pandemic in general, but this is specifically Pandemic Legacy 1. If you can see behind me, no you can't, hold on, just above, just there.
Yeah,
that is it's both Legacy 1. Now, the reason I've got 2 copies is because I enjoyed it so much, I wanted to play it again.
Wow.
It starts off as your standard, you know full well, it starts off as your typical Pandemic game, very familiar. Then it adds that little rule, and then the whole game unwinds into some horrible, disgusting game that's so fun. And can't stop playing it. So. We played it actually with little Jess.
Wow.
She really enjoyed it, but because we liked it, as much as she did enjoy it, we kind of want to play it as an adult group as well.
Yeah.
Just to really get that feel for it. What an experience. I was a bit reluctant on the whole legacy element. It was the first legacy game I got, and now I've got 2 others. Because it was that whole, putting the stickers on the board, one-time play. However, I've played, what are we on now? So there's 12 months. I mean, there's a max of 24 games, but I think we have done about 12, but we're not finished yet.
Yeah.
There's not many games that I would play that many times over anyway. And I have got Pandemic, and I've got Pandemic Iberia, but I think what you're paying for here is the experience of the game. Rather than, I won't be able to play it again after. Doesn't matter. Your experience over the 12 months, potentially 24 games, will definitely cover that, however much it is nowadays, 40, 50 quid. I mean, I bought mine for 44. It's I think even if I'd have paid 60, 70 for it, I still would have got my money.
See, I want to turn my one into a picture frame, and I want to hang it on that wall there.
That's what we're going to do with ours when ours is finished. It's partially why we haven't done it yet, because obviously we can't go to stores at the moment to get a photo frame.
You've got to get a big. I mean, the one I've seen, I think it's a store in Folkestone, the board game shop in Folkestone has in their gaming room they have it, and it's like this big giant picture with all like the pieces, cards. They've actually torn the cards, because I've not torn any of the cards, but if it's in a picture frame I will tear them to make it look that good.
It look like it.
Yeah, and they've done it looks amazing.
I don't know if I'd include the torn cards. I think I would stick however the last game ends, I think I'm going to stick everything in its place. Just however it ends, that's how we're going to do it. But no, the mechanics, obviously I don't want to give away too much, but the mechanics it adds, just, I can't go back to normal Pandemic now, because it's that extra step up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really enjoyable game. I've also got the Pandemic season, the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of that. If you ever sell that, I've just been corrected by my wife by message. It was in Ashford, the shop, not Folkestone.
Oh, yeah, I don't recall it being in Folkestone.
But yeah, it's Ashford. I just got a message from my wife saying Folkestone. Okay, I'm wrong. So yeah.
All those people that have gone to Ashford, to Folkestone now.
Yeah, I know. They're like charging to Folkestone to get to the board game shop to see it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, Pandemic, specifically season 1.
Yeah.
Haven't played season 2 yet though, so that's once we've finished season 1, we're going on to season 2.
I think me and Amy are 2-3 months in.
Okay, I've heard it's a lot harsher.
Yeah. Yeah. You when you look at the board originally, you're like, what? You're shocked by what it is, and yeah, I can't remember. We've not played it in ages. Our whole thing, we were going to do it during the pandemic. We were going to play it, and we've not actually played that many games. But yeah,
We'll get to it.
To do. It's just finding time. That's the problem. It's these live videos that I'm doing.
Cool. Yeah, that's my number 6, Pandemic.
So my number 5 is Nemesis. So this is one. I think Amy loves this game as well, and for my wife to love this sort of game is shocking. It's a sci-fi horror. It's your literally heart is pounding all the way through the game. You are to the point where an intruder, alien from Aliens, they're aliens, they come on the board and you panic. I was going to swear then, but I'm trying to. You literally, you just you just don't know what to do. You are to the point where you're like, especially if the Queen comes on, you like, oh my god, I need to run. It's traitor aspect, so you can be trying to kill each other at the same time. You can be so evil you can actually blow each other out of the airlock. You can lock someone in a room, open up the airlock and kill them that way. There's so many ways to kill each other. Huh?
I said there's definitely a theme for your games apart from sci-fi.
Yeah.
And betrayal and just cutting people off willy-nilly.
It is one of them games. I mean, I backed this from day one. It's just so fun. I've got everything for this game. Actually, everything apart from the Kings. I didn't back the new one they did. Lockdown? Yeah, I didn't back that.
How's that? Money or
just money? It's being in a not earning much money. It's one of them.
Yeah, it's a. In my opinion, I mean, forgive me for anybody that's watching that is doing this at the moment. In these times, and they're releasing these $100 plus games. It's a really bad time to do it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Okay, there are stuff like the Frosthaven, which I'll mention, Yeah, okay, that backed with loads of money. That's great for people that are okay at this time.
Yeah.
I feel a bit cheated on that because I'd love that game, but like yourselves and like a lot of others, it's a case of can't afford it at the moment.
Yeah.
So when they put that on, I was also, even though I've not played Nemesis, and I've seen it, it's not something that's really taken my eye. However, I watched the trailer for Lockdown. If I had the money, I think I would have backed it.
They're actually releasing a video game of Nemesis. There's, I can't remember what it's called now. There's going to be a proper, a traitory online like fight shoot 'em up version of this. Going to be a proper video game of this that looks insane. Yeah, for me, I just love the whole aspect of Nemesis. It's just, it's a big old board. You literally, it's slightly different every time. It's just such a fun game. I mean, I've got all the expansions. I've not played with any of them yet. I want to try some of the other aliens because they look so hard. I've like the free expansion that came with everyone who backed it. I can't remember what it's called now, but it adds like a ship after Nemesis. It brings another ship on with characters that we all voted for, and it's some of the characters are really cool. There's a couple, with one of them that everyone hated. It's blatantly from what's his face? Who the one who runs the corporation in Alien, Wayland or whatever, Wayland Corp. It's an old man with a robot helper, and everyone's like, oh yeah, that's from Alien. It is. But at the end of the day, it's so fun. It's just we all voted for these.
So they brought in board game. Well, there's lots of links to movies in other games.
It's the whole. I think what makes me love this game is the whole fact that your heart is pumping the whole way through, because you don't know if the other people are trying to kill you. You've got the aliens trying to kill you. You could go, oh yeah, you're going to go to the engine room. I'll go to send it over here. You don't know if they've gone, checked the engines and gone, none of them working. Oh, but they're all working, and you could literally lose because of them. And it's just so fun. It's definitely, for me, it's one of them games that I'm glad I've got. I'm glad I've got everything.
It's one I'm going to try at some point.
I think
when I've got the hours and free.
Yeah, it is a long game.
Yeah, I've heard.
I think for me, it's Awaken Realms are probably my favourite game designers.
Yeah, they produce some quality
stuff. I've got Tainted Grail. That is so good. They were the ones who created this War of Mine.
Oh yes, of course they were.
Yeah, they originally created that. There's, I can't remember, the Great Wall. That's another one that looks. That's a worker placement. That looks really good. Okay. I've actually backed that because I actually did it with minis or with meeples, and I've gone for the meeple version because. Yeah, you don't. I'm not a massive mini fan. I'm not one of these people like, oh my god, it's got minis, I'm going to buy it. It does the same. But yeah, definitely. Anyway, we digress off Nemesis, but yeah, Nemesis is my number 5. We move on to yours.
Cool. So my one is Ex Libre. Another one of those games that's a bit like Luxor. It's quite an easy game to play, but it's so unique in its own right. It's worker placement mixed with hand management mixed with tableau building. You're essentially, it's one of those ones a bit like your Obsession game. If you described it, you might not play it, but honestly, it's fantastic, and the artwork makes it a lot of fun. You're essentially building a library. Okay, so some of you have just shut off straight away. What? Building a library? You're actually trying to arrange books in alphabetical order. Again, doesn't sound that fun, but what you have to actually do is go out into the town and go and collect those books to get into your library in certain formations to get certain points. So you're getting points for they're like the town's most popular book. So you're going to get X amount of points depending on if you've got the most, second most, third most. So you're already trying to get those. You've also got your own individual book collection. You've got the symbol that you're going for, so you've got to go for that as well. You've also got to do shelf stability, so it can't just be put them in a line willy-nilly. No, you have to actually organise them to get a stable shelf to get extra points. And the actions that you can do in the town. It's one of those ones that you're trying to combo your actions. You're trying to gain as many books as you can, sell them on to get the better ones that you want. Yeah, I just have a lot of fun with playing this. There are about 12 characters, all with unique abilities as well. So every time you play, you're not just simply playing the same worker placement game as everyone else. You've got certain abilities. A lot of them are very take that abilities as well. So one of my favourites is the Goblin. If the Goblin goes to the same place as an opponent, you actually get to steal cards out of opponents' hands. I know Jade's favourite character is the Flame. If you go to a location, burn all the books and get extra actions.
Wow.
For a library building game, it's a lot of fun. It's hard to get a hold of though. I mean, we were lucky to get a copy for 50 quid.
I've personally never heard of this before you gave me your list.
Seriously? Oh, okay.
Seriously.
Where is it? Oh, it's here. Oh, you've got a picture of it. What am I doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, you can see it.
It's right above your head.
Yeah, but you can see it there as well.
Yeah.
With Clank, it's Renegade Games as well, so made by the same people who do Clank and that. But it's such a quality game. I don't know why you can't get a hold of it as much now, but it's such a good game. That's why it's up there.
But there's a few games that I want that I cannot get hold of for the life of me, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah,
it's
strange when you find a game that you think is that good. Everyone, I don't know anybody that I've played Ex Libre with that hasn't enjoyed it. You go, well, why is that not? I mean, you think it's the publisher, but it's the same publisher who do Clank. Yeah. Clank is still really good, so why is Ex Libre a flop? Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, no, very good game, Ex Libre. And just as a minor little addition, I love the fact that it's one of the only games I have with a score sheet that's dry erase.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've never run out of score sheets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, it's the small things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my one. So back to you,
cool.
Joe.
Yes, number 4 for me. This is Hombro. This is a classic. I mean,
yeah,
proper classic. I mean, you can see on the picture it's like it won whatever the German Spiel Award, whatever, 2003. Yeah. I can't pronounce what I'm useless, but yeah. So this is just classic. I love this game. I mean, when I said to Darius, I said, "Oh, I've got a like secret, like a game that I love that's like a hidden, it's and you actually said this, and it's like no, it's this. I'm proud. I will go around and shout this out that I love this game.
I only said it because you put it up so high.
I just love it so much. It's one of the games that actually got me into board gaming.
And that's it. Yeah.
It was. I actually watched it through Tabletop. Will Wheaton. This is his channel. Basically, got me into board gaming, and it was one of the videos that when I saw this game, it was like, wow, I want this game. It's just I don't know what it's about the game. I enjoy it. It's a basic game. Now you look at it compared with a lot of games nowadays, and it's very basic, but it's just so fun. It's just so enjoyable. I love building the Alhambras. I love trying to build the whole wall around. I would love the deluxe edition. That is my dream one day, to own all the expansions for it, because getting hold of expansions for this game now is impossible. They did do a Kickstarter last year where you could get everything, and they had some really high like big designers design special expansions for it, but
nice.
But I think the game cost like 120. It cost a lot of money for everything, and I thought for Alhambra, that's
I know that they did the big box ages ago, which included Alhambra and some of the expansions.
Yeah,
and then they did another big box, but it wasn't. It was Alhambra base game, I believe, and then it had the card game. The Gardens of Alhambra. I had the Gardens of Alhambra. Awful game. Completely different to Alhambra itself. And there was another one in there. But I was so happy to find this big box of Alhambra, but to find out it was just the spin-off games that...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the game's any good. As I said, I knew the Gardens one was trash, but but Alhambra, the actual base game, and I've luckily enough, Jordan has the expansions for it, so I have played Alhambra with all the extra expansions, and they do make the game a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's something that I always look at, and you can only ever find them in German, same as the big box. You can only ever find it in German. I
did actually find someone selling it up in Tabletop Scotland.
Wow.
I'm not going to pay much for, because just in case, I don't know that person, but they might be watching this. I was really happy to find Alhambra, all the boxes for it. The amount they wanted was insane.
It is. So it's one of them games that it is crazy. If you find it, all the expansions, it's
you get a good price, pick it up.
But again, it's one of the games that I will always own. I will always want to play. I think me and Amy did a live stream of this a few months back, just because we love it.
I really fancy a game of it now.
I'm always craving this game. This is one of the games where we go, what are we going to play? And I always mention Alhambra. It's one of them. It's
we're going to have to look on Tabletop Simulator later.
Oh, yes. I've not looked. But yeah. So yeah, that is my number 4. Very shocking compared with not being sci-fi.
Very different from the other ones. And it's no depressing theme and killing people.
Exactly. It's building stuff. That's shocking. So yeah, on to Darius's number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Who's surprised? Who's surprised it's number 4, hey? It's this. It's Jay's favourite.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scythe for me, base game. It's okay. Base game's fine. 5-player. Again, we've had this debate loads of times, haven't we, Jay?
Yeah.
Not a 2-player game. No. Not really 3-player game either. 4 or more, definitely. If you get a 7-player game of it, oh my word, it's a completely different game.
You have to spend money. You have to spend more money to make it a 7-player game. To me, what's the point?
Yeah, but there's a lot of games that do that. So and you get more minis with it. Do you know what? I actually do get it. When people say they're not a fan of it, I understand why. But for me, I really enjoy that engine build. We've had some wicked games recently. We've just completed the 8-game the campaign for it, the Rise of Fenrir. Fantastic game. It makes you play the game in different ways that you normally wouldn't play the base game. But no, the 1 to 5 version was okay. Then I got the extra, the 2 factions, the green and purple. They're really good. They had some extra abilities. Then I've got the Wind Gambit. Now, a lot of people don't enjoy that, but I really like the Wind Gambit. It speeds up that first couple of turns. It's the equivalent, to me, it's the equivalent of Prelude in Terraforming Mars.
Okay.
Where you've got that couple of turns where you're not really doing a lot.
Yeah.
I find that the Wind Gambit can skip those first couple of turns of, well, I'll just move. It's move and maybe get an ability straight away. So I enjoyed that. And then, but still, it was a 7 out of 10 for me. It was an okay game. Then I played Rise of Fenrir. It comes with 11 modules, so 11 different ways to play it, as well as the campaign. And it's just that immediately made it a good 9 for me. But no, it's number 4 because I've played it a lot now, and I do really enjoy it. But there's other games that are above this one still. It was my favourite for a long time. But that was before I discovered the next 3.
For me, I will say, the thing I like about that game is the artwork. Love the artwork, absolutely. If I could just have the artwork and not even nothing to do with the game, I would be happy. Because that artwork, I mean that box cover, you can't see it, Darius, but the box cover, it's amazing. But
have you seen Rise of Fenrir artwork? I mean, obviously these are for anybody that's one of the expansion boxes.
Yeah,
I mean, seen that
artwork is just stunning. It is just.
You got that. That's the airships one.
Yeah, that one is not massive on, but yeah, it's just the game. That's the part of the reason everyone was buzzing about it, so I bought it, and then yeah, I mean. The artist is probably the best thing. But didn't they actually make that game around the artwork?
Yes. Yeah, there was a big hoo-ha about if the artwork was actually the game's rights or not. I can't remember the full story, and I probably won't go into it too much, but I knew there was something. However, a bit of claim to fame for myself. Remember at the last Uncon, we did the Uncon's #1 game? Yeah. And we did this. I got in contact with Jamie and asked if there was anything they could help us with, as in could they send us maybe a stand, or could they send us anything promotional wise to really boost the fact that we were bigging up Scythe. I mean, we got the Scythe with the player mat out, all of it set up with all the painted minis. And to be fair, he replied and said, unfortunately, there was nothing he could do in terms of sending us anything, but he did give me full permission to use any artwork.
Nice.
Which was that. So that for me was, to be honest, all I did was a little photo frame.
Print it on your T-shirt. Get T-shirts printed to be like, I've been given permission to do this.
Permission to do this, maybe not to sell it, but no. But he was pretty thankful that we were boosting his game and giving it up. So and his response was really quick and amazing. And also, I've lost pieces for Scythe, and the response that Jamie has, I said, I've lost a couple of pieces, my fault, can I pay for this, this and this? Send it through the post. What's the charge? Nothing. So, as a publisher... Yeah,
they're a good company.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna leave it as there. But yeah.
But yeah, number 4, Jay's favourite Scythe.
My number 1 Scythe. No.
Then that was not a good time.
Number 3 for me, Terraforming Mars. So this is where it should be, or this area of the top 10 for, Darius got it. Where have you got it? So high, it's crazy.
Well, for a while it was probably my number 2, number 3. But then I found other games, and it's one of those ones I've just played so many times, and you get other games, and I'm sure the ones that are in my top 3 will eventually dwindle down, and other things will take its place.
I think for me, my top 3 now, or my top ones, are going to struggle to change. I mean, this is the thing for me. You'll see later on. There's certain games that I can't. For me, they're the ones that I'd play all the time. But back onto this, we've really gone through it. I'm not going to really go much onto it, but it's Terraforming Mars. I personally love it with all the expansions, apart from I've not played it with Turmoil. It's just a brilliant game. I like Darius. He's like, it's a 2.5 hour game. I love 2.5. I love long games, as you can probably tell by some of my games. They're all long games. I love. If you're going to sit down and play a board game, you want to make it an evening. You want to sit there for 2-3 hours plus playing a board game. I love that. Don't get me wrong.
I like to play a 2.5 hour game. It's just one of those ones that it's really hard to play at a games night. See, for me, I play mainly with Amy at home, so we put Little into bed, we get a game out, and we sit there, and we've got the evening. We just sit there, and that's it for the evening. We just sit there and play games. But yeah, for me, love this game. I think there's going to be. I'm going to struggle to find something to overtake this. I think there's a game that I need to play a few more times that will get into my top 10. But I think this is going to take a lot to knock it off, just because love the theme, love everything about this game. I love my Mars games, I love my space games, and this is, to me, the ultimate game. I cannot wait for you to try on Mars. I was so looking forward to that game. I thought it was going to be the next Terraforming Mars, and I thought it was going to be great. I'm going to save that for another top 10 list.
Yes. Yeah.
Shocking game.
So there we go. That was my number 3. On to Darius's.
So my one is The City of Kings, which is on my shelf just behind me. I absolutely love this game. Yes, I do prefer it to Scythe, mostly because of the replayability.
Dum, bum,
It is
bum.
it is cooperative. It has got a very chess feel to it, I find. It's making that next move at the right time, but obviously it's cooperative. For me, I just love the different scenarios. I love how not only have you got 7 stories and about 11 scenarios in the box, but if you go on Board Game Geek and on the City of Games website, there are loads of DLC for it. There's some expansions that I really want for it, but I haven't got yet. But I just find that I've played it loads, and I have not got bored of it yet.
You play it constantly. You play that weekly.
I do. It's one of those addictive games where you play it, I need to play that again right now, because everything I just did, I would do differently. Right, I want to try it again. And there's also the 12-hour game that we've attempted many a times. That 12-hour game, wow.
I see you post about it. I see you go, we're going to start the 12-hour game. Like an hour or 2 hours later, you're like, we're going to play this now. And it's like, that was 12-hour game?
Well, the only difference is, because it can take up to 12 hours. Now, if you get 3-4 hours in and then you die, you can't really restart, because then you're looking at a 16-hour game.
Yeah.
We did get to chapter 5 out of 6. We played it 2-player, and it only took us 3 hours to get to that point. However, it would have taken us hours to get out of the situation, and we would have run out of time. So yeah. We'll play it again at some point. But I absolutely love the game. It's on Tabletop Simulator as well. There's a really good mod for it on there. I don't know. It's one of those ones that is it's a bit like Scythe in terms of you've got your workers going out getting all the resources while your heroes go off and do all the battles. It's got that Scythe feel to it, but it's also got that Gloomhaven feel to it as well. However, it's just easier to get out than Gloomhaven, and you can set it up in 10 minutes. And I like it at all player counts as well. I think that's the other thing that does it for me. If I've got 2, 3, or 4 players, sometimes if me and Jay play 2-player, we actually play the 4-player version and play 2 characters each.
Yeah.
To spice it up a little bit. But it's a quality game. I just cannot stop playing it. I don't know why. I also understand there are some people that go, yeah, it's okay. Don't know why I like it so much, but I just do.
Yeah.
Not bored of it yet, even though people think I would be, but I'm not.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that's my number. City of Kings.
So, my number 2. I think no one will be shocked, or no one will shock if they know my posts. They will know this one. Marvel Legendary. This is so. I'm going to clarify it. So, because I was talking to Darius about this earlier on. So this is with the expansions. This is the base game. Is okay. It's
that's all I've got with the base.
It's okay. It's fun, but once you start throwing the expansions in there, then it just turns into a whole different game. Like I think I've literally filled up the full box now. I've got so many.
I saw your picture that you posted. Now, what you've got in 3 columns, I've got 1 column and about half of it filled. So I can't even imagine how much you actually have.
It's so heavy. Literally, that game is the heaviest game on.
You have?
So I've got the X-Men. I've got Secret Wars 1 and 2. I've got Civil War. I've got Guardians of the Galaxy. Paint the Town Red. Venom. I might have some more. Yeah.
You don't know how many in numbers.
I think there's 5, 6, maybe.
Oh really? Wow.
And there's like 20 expansions, but I've got 4 big boxes, and I think there's I think there's only 6 big boxes in all. So I've got most of the big boxes.
Oh, they've got about 400 odd cards in each, haven't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. So that's why I've got so much, because I've got a lot of the big boxes rather than the small boxes.
I was surprised that you don't have World War Hulk.
That's one that I want. That's one that
we almost picked it up for Jess because she's a big Hulk fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need to make the most of what I've got, because that's the thing. I mean, whenever me and Annie play, we've got this app that actually you put in what expansions you get, you push random, and it will choose what you've got.
Showed me that as well.
Yeah, and it just makes it fun. But literally, I can't remember the last time we played a scheme that we've played before, and I think we occasionally get the same bad guys, but like when the other day you were playing Red Skull, me and Amy looked at each other and went, "Oh, Red Skull's so easy. We miss Red Skull because you get
it's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, because you get someone like
we needed it to be easy.
You get some of the bad guys that they're crazy. They're just literally you can't beat them. I mean.
When I was at Handycon, they had the expansion. Is it the Dark
City?
One, is it? Dark City. It had Thanos in it.
Yeah. Oh, we've technically got 3 Thanoses now. So we have a good guy Thanos that you can play as.
Oh,
we have a bad Thanos, and in the Venom expansion, you've got a Venomized Thanos.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So were any of them 24 health? Because that's the one we were dealing with.
Yeah, Thanos. That's the one we've got. That's
so difficult.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we've got one where one of the scenarios is you add the health. He's a really it depends what one, but you add in health, and it just gets stupid. It's some of them are crazy hard, but it's fun because when we first played the base game, I don't think we ever lost a game. I can't remember the last time when me and Amy won a game of that.
Okay, yeah, because the base game it's getting a bit easy now.
Yeah, and now we're to the point where I can't remember the last time we won a game. I think, but with the base game, you have to put up with the crapness of Cyclops, worst character in the game.
I don't tend to put Cyclops in.
He's awful. He's awful. He's useless.
Yeah.
We want to get the Shield expansion because that actually adds cards that go into the Maria Hill deck that are special.
Yeah.
And it adds a whole different thing with. It makes you want to buy Maria Hill because you get these special abilities that play off and. I mean, like we've got sidekicks that you don't have. We have like the wounds now. We have severe wounds and really bad wounds that don't just stop you like normal wounds. They completely mess you up unless you. The only way to get rid of them as well is like sometimes discard certain cards or do this, and it screws you up. The bystanders, especially with the X-Men one, you actually have bystanders now that turn into X-Men. That go into your hand, so you gain a new hero through rescuing a bystander.
So the big question is then, if I've got the base game, which I do, which is the first expansion you would suggest?
My favourite expansion, if you can find it, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
It adds shards, so Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've played with shards, yeah. Gamora.
It adds. I can't remember what they're called now, but it adds. So technically, when you get a certain card, they stay in front of you forever.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Guardians of the Galaxy is the best. It's probably one of the rarest after Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four one as well. Okay.
But no, Fantastic Four is rare because it's the oldest. Or apart from going behind Dark City, you can't get hold of that for love nor money.
It's quite funny when you say they're the 2 hardest to get hold of, because when I was at Handycon and I played Legendary, the only 2 expansions in there was Guardians of the Galaxy and Dark City. They
were the first 2 small. So Guardians of the Galaxy was they were the. I think the first one was Dark City. That was the first expansion.
Yeah.
And then I think Paint the Town Red, and then Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay, so I see why they get it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got another message. Artifacts. See, my wife's messaging me. Let me know.
Artifact. Thanks, Amy.
She's advising me, watching downstairs.
It's a good job you've got an admin checking up on you.
But yeah, there's Firefly Legendary I keep looking at that I want.
Do you know what, we had that and we gave it away. I know.
I feel like crying.
It's because we got it when we first started gaming, and Jade was into Firefly. I've never seen it. It looked so complicated at the time, but now we've played Marvel Legendary. We kind of want that back. I think I know who we gave it to, and I might ask that person very soon if maybe we could potentially have it or borrow it back.
If you get it back, I would love to play it, because I've got so many Firefly games. Firefly is probably one of my favourite shows ever, and I can't believe that you've never watched it.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
Should do. I will do it at some point. It's one of those ones that's on my to-do list.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is my number 2. On to Darius's number 2.
My number 2, Great Western Trail.
We all knew that.
Yeah. So much so that you can probably see behind me.
It's a bit fuzzy at the minute, so. I think. Do you know what? I think it's your lighting. I think it's because you're in a dark room.
Oh, okay. Well, you should be able to see it. There's light on my screen.
No. Your camera's a bit fuzzy. I think that's why it's going fuzzy, because it's quite compared with my brightness.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, I got 2 copies of Great Western Trail.
There we go.
Mostly because the whole one was played so much at the club. The cards were getting a bit grubby. And I loved the game so much that I wanted a brand new copy. One of my friends, Will, knew that I was after a brand new copy if they ever re-released it. And lo and behold, they did. And he managed to grab me a copy as well as himself a copy. So I've got a nice brand new copy. And I've got the expansion Rails to the North, which absolutely makes the game for me. Great Western Trail was a great game, and then they added the expansion, and it makes it fantastic. It's one of those games that I can play over and over. I won't get bored of it. The only thing is I'm not a big fan of it with 2 players. I feel like you don't get a lot done when there's just the 2 of you. And it's one of those things that the better everybody's doing, the more you get done in the game. You almost snowball each other's actions.
I've played it a few times now, and I must admit, I really do enjoy that game. It is, the more I'm playing it, the more I'm liking it. I even liked it so much that I actually got a nice 3D printed tile holder.
You did, Colin made you one, didn't he?
That's so cool. I love that.
Now, I don't know if you ever knew this, Jay, or for anybody that watched it. I don't know if they know. The first time I played this game, I hated it.
Wow.
I really did not enjoy this game. I played it at the club many moons ago when we were still up in Westgate. It was one of those nights that it was so loud. I'd just come from work. My friend Steve said, "Oh, come and play this game." It looked wicked. It looked really cool. We sat there, and I just did not get it. I wasn't in the right frame of mind to understand it. There's so much going on, and none of it made sense. The rail track to the piecing all these things together. I knew what actions I had to do. I just didn't know how they all interacted with each other. And it got towards the end of the game, and I said, "I'm sorry, Steve." I said, "I just don't want to play this anymore. I'm really bored. I really don't enjoy it." I thought I'd be honest, because I wasn't enjoying it at all. And it was a long game to sit and not enjoy it. And he said, "Look, it's loud tonight. It's hard to hear. You can borrow my copy. Take it home." And I just went, I'll have a look at it at home. And I kind of went home thinking about the game. And I was thinking, well, how did that I don't get it. I don't understand how any of it came together. So I sat it down, and bearing in mind, this is when we were very new to Euro games. So now it seems like a really easy game. I sat it down with Jade, and I went through the rulebook. and all those things made sense.
Yeah.
But right when I do that fix that. We played a game of it, and the second time I played it, and I'm so glad that Steve let me borrow that game because I don't think I'd have played it ever again. Loved it. So on that note, that is why I always try the game twice.
I think that was like me and Amy because we our first playthrough we tried doing it live. We were doing, and that was awful. By the end of it, I was so put off with playing it, and then we played over online with you with it, and it suddenly just made sense. It was like, okay, and now both me and Amy both say we really enjoy that game. It's one of our. We really enjoy it. I must admit, the box art, because I can see it staring at me, I hate the box art. The box art is ugly as.
Really? Okay.
I just don't like. I mean, the bloke with the top hat looks evil. He looks like he's going to kill someone.
I can't see it on your screen, so. Oh, him. Oh, yeah. He's this guy.
Yeah.
He looks evil.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can see that. I can see it right above, and he just looks evil. He's just. I keep looking at it, and I'm like, that box art needs updating. They need to make it look a little bit.
Bit black and white, isn't it? It's just.
Yeah.
I get it. I quite like it, but I mean, obviously, each their own. They didn't actually change it. This is the reprint version. They still didn't change the artwork there.
Oh yeah, so. This is the picture that I've got up. The reprint, the Eggert Spiel one.
Yes. Yeah. They're both Eggert Spiel. I think it's a different
logo, updated logo.
Yeah. Before it was Pegasus Spiel.
Yeah, Pegasus Spiel.
Yeah. But it's there you go. Yeah, on your hat. It's a fantastic game. It just took. I think it's one of those ones that you need to play other games, other Euro games, to really get the mechanics of that particular one.
Yeah.
And it was the first ever one I played, but I absolutely love it. And it's addictive. You just every time you play it, you want to do better than the last game you played.
Yeah, totally agree. So
that's number 2.
On to my number 1. Well, actually, do you want your number 1 to go up first, or do you want me to do mine?
Go on. Well, it's been me.
Yeah, okay. So my number 1. If anyone knows me, and probably what I was just saying earlier on, you will guess this. This will never not be number 1, I don't think, for me. I love this game so much. It is Firefly the game. I love this game. Absolutely. I haven't played it in ages because it is a 3, 4, 5 hour game, depending on what scenario. I've got pretty much all the expansions for it. I've got all the boards. I've got the mat. This game is just so good. It is only a pick up and deliver. It's a basic. It's not really intense game, but it's if you love the show, it just feels like you're in the verse. You're doing what they do in the ship. Especially me and Amy always try and get the characters from the Firefly. It is our mission to see how many of the original characters we can get. Amy always wins. She always gets Jane. I hate the fact that she always gets Jane. And she normally gets Jane and Wash, my 2 favourite characters, and she normally gets them both. And it's like, damn you. But yeah, this game, I love this.
You big it up a lot, so.
Huh?
You big it up a lot, so I could see this being your number 1.
It's always going to be my number 1, I think. I love the show. I've got this. I've got the adventure, Firefly Adventure. It's effectively when you're on the planet doing the missions. It's effectively that. So you could if you had enough space, you could play this. When you go to a planet, you could do a mission on the other board game to pretend you're on the planet. You could technically.
Are the games interchangeable with each other?
No. So I was saying you could in your mind you could do it solo, and you could have this set up. When you go to a planet, you could stop playing it for a minute, play adventure, and you're the characters on the planet doing missions on the planet. But yeah, I don't know, something about this game. I've got like a big old 6-seater dining room table, and I barely have enough space for this. It's that big.
I've seen it. Someone said at Tabletop Scotland, it's a table hog.
Yeah, it is massive. It is such a big game, but it's just so fun. When I play it, it doesn't feel like I play it for 4 hours, 5 hours. I think we've had the longest game we had was possibly a 6-hour game. This was before Erin. I think we started it and we were playing it till like the early hours of the morning, me and Amy. It just doesn't feel like that because you are having fun. You're enjoying doing what you're doing. There is an expansion that I've got where you can attack each other's ships and raid them and steal their stuff. Me and Amy never do that. It's Pirates and Bounty Hunters. We always just do our own thing. It's one of them games, if you don't like games where you don't interact, people won't like it, because you can be one side of the map going here and there, the other person's over there doing this and that. You could be completely away from each other. But it's like the show, because that's the thing in the show, they're just flying around doing missions, you could have to fly to this planet, and it just feels like you're in the show. The movement is you can either spend fuel to move a certain distance, or you can roll a dice, or you can just move one. It's you've got your safety of moving one, but sometimes if you need to get to a certain place, and it's a fun game for me.
People compare it to Outer Rim.
A lot of people say Outer Rim is the short version of Firefly.
Okay.
So if you like Outer Rim, you potentially like Firefly, because Firefly is the big daddy. It teaches you the basics. I've not played Outer Rim, but again, I've heard the comparisons and what people say. Yeah. People say if you've played Outer Rim and you like it, Firefly is the big, grand version of it.
Got Outer Rim somewhere.
Technically, it's the other way around. Firefly was first. I mean, this is what 20. This.
Where is Outer Rim? You can't see it.
No.
Can you?
No.
Oh, it's because it's literally right behind me.
Okay. But yeah, it's one of them games. I can see why a lot of people wouldn't enjoy it, because I think even the solo game you're looking 2 hours minimum. The short games are like 2 hours.
Feel like a long game.
Huh?
I like a long game if it doesn't feel like a long game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't. I must admit, at some points during the game, it can do, especially when you're going from one part of the verse to the other part of the verse. Especially if you've got the expansions and your map's nearly double the size. You're trying to get one side to the other side, and it does take you time to travel, because you can, especially if you're only moving one space at a time. It can take a hell of a long turn. But I mean, there's stuff to do. You can go and you can just go to a planet and earn a little bit of money. There's loads of little things you can do here and there to fill up time. But yeah, that is my number one. That I think will be number one forever. On to Darius's.
Well, we'll have to look in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
See if still.
We will see.
It's alright, maybe one day it'll be Scythe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe top hated games.
Have you
I've done it. I just clicked it.
There you go, you know it. It's Clank, specifically Clank Legacy. Again, this one, if we were doing Legacies and base games, my number one and number two probably would have been Clank Legacy, followed by Clank in Space, followed by Clank. It's one of those games, they're all amazing, but Clank Legacy takes that Clank element, adds a bit of, it has got a storyline, it's quite a good story, but it's got that RPG element of, well, you know, you have to go in, get your artifact, get out. It's got that thing. However, there are other bits you might want to do on the way. That they've added in extra rules, that the map is massive. You actually build the map as you go. So, and that's not a spoiler, because as soon as you play the game, you open up the map and it's half a board. So it's almost a giveaway of, oh, well, I've got this whole pack of sticker sheets. Again, you'll see that as soon as you open the board. I've got half a map missing. Well, I'm clearly going to be adding to that later. And you do. I won't go any more than that, but it's absolutely fantastic. And at the end of it, you have your own unique copy of Clank.
Yeah.
That will look very different to other people's. The layout might be the same, but what you add to it is really down to the way that your group play it. Yeah. It's not cooperative. However, there have been times when I've played it where you do have to kind of barter and say, look, if you're going to do that, then that's going to trigger, and that will mess the game up for both of us.
Yeah.
So either we do our own stuff and leave each other alone. It's got those elements, and I really enjoy the fact that it's not co-op, but it adds because Clank, it's everyone for themselves.
Yeah.
Get in, get out. There's no, oh, I'll just wait for you to get a couple more points. No, there's none of that in normal Clank. Clank Legacy, though, you've got parts where you may want to work together a little bit, but not too much. It's the best game experience I've ever had.
So you've introduced me to Clank during the lockdown on Tabletop Simulator, and I enjoyed it so much that I now own a copy of Clank in Space. I got for my birthday. So
you've played that, haven't you?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. I love Clank in Space. I think that's my next favourite after Legacy. I love the red cubes ability. As the rage counter goes up, you put the red cubes in, and that damages everyone that's left. And I really love the fact that everybody's got their unique escape pod. There's been many a times where a couple of us have been heading towards the same escape pod. One person gets in. Oh, whoops! I've got to change my whole route to get to another one.
I did that to Amy. I effectively did that to Amy. She was going to an escape pod. I managed to get there before her. Later, and she was like, "Can't believe you did that."
You meaning.
Yeah.
And then the base game of Clank is fine. I'm glad there's some expansions for that now. My favourite one, I think, is Gold and Silk. Specifically the Silk side, which is the Spider's Lair.
Okay.
All the extra bonuses that you might get, such as money and health, you actually have to cut out spider webs to get the bonus. Wow. I really like the addition. And there's also a big web at the top, which has got different abilities that you can claim. So I think it's 8 mana, and you can get a secret tome and health or a secret tome and money, but they're one-off abilities. So as soon as one player collects it, you then can't have that collection from that big web.
Yeah.
The little spider that comes with it. I'm really looking forward to playing the new one, the temple, the Cursed Temple with the Ape Lord.
Yeah.
Looks very Planet of the Apes type. Yeah, okay. That looks fun. I can't wait to try that one. Not a big fan of Sunken Treasures, I must admit. If you play 3 or 4 players, there's only 2 scuba diving kits. So if you don't get one of those scuba diving kits, you're essentially screwed.
Okay.
And that's I don't know how I feel about it. I'd need to play it again because I've only played it once. Yeah. And the Mummy's Curse is okay. There's a weird mechanic with the die rolling, but the Legacy, absolutely fantastic. They've done such a good job with that. Once we've finished ours, I think we want to buy another copy and do it again.
Wow.
And in fact, I think if I did, I would do it as a video next time.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. My number one.
So I'm going to put your top 10 up. I'm going to run to Lou, and you can quickly run through your top 10 while I run to Lou, and I'll be back.
Okay, that's fair play.
Yeah, the cameras will be off. Just a heads up. Cool.
So, is it up now?
Yeah.
So just going through mine again. Run now because I'm not going to be very long. Right. So, Feast for Odin was my number 10. Number 9 was Luxor. Number 8, Terraforming Mars. Number 7 was Gaia Project. Number 6 was Pandemic. Number 5, Ex Libre. Number 4 was Scythe, specifically with Rise of Fenrir. My number 3 is City of Kings. Absolutely love that game. Number 2, Great Western Trail, again with expansion, probably put it up there. And then what we've just spoke about was Clank Legacy. Now Jay has left me to talk to you for a couple of minutes. I just want to take this moment to say that myself and Jay have discussed that we actually really want to do these top 10s more often. We did start off with the quite obvious one, 10 games of all time that we enjoy. But if there's any top 10 lists that you want us to do, please vote in the comments, get in contact with us. I definitely would love to do a top 10 games we hate. I think that would be a lot of fun for me and Jay to do. I know which would be his number one.
Hello, I'm back.
Underrated, overrated, that kind of.
Yeah. Let us know, guys, what you want us to do next. I'll put my top 10 up.
Oh yeah, you go through yours.
So number 10, Deep State. 9, Possession. Number 8, Leaving Earth. Number 7, War of Mine. 6, Solar Storm. 5, Nemesis. 4, El Hombro, or Hambra, depending how you want to say it. 3, Terraforming Mars. 2, Marvel Legendary. And 1, Firefly the game.
Hey.
The greatest. I'm going to go back to us talking and camera on. So yeah, we are back. So that was our top 10. Please, guys, let us know what you want to see next as our top 10. We want to do this quite regularly. Now I've got this all set up, it would be easy for me to change this up, and so yeah, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Give us some comments and get our Facebook page running as well, because it needs some love.
We need love on Meeples Peoples. And all around the board.
We were discussing about getting the Uncon digital running through Meeples Peoples potentially. We were talking about this. So Uncon unfortunately has just been cancelled. We've had to take the hard decision of cancelling it in November. But I've got lots of ideas in my brain for doing some digital stuff. It works quite well with Board Game Trading Chat UK. I know they're a chat site, but they've done some really cool interviews, and I found myself popping in and out as and when. Yeah, I think we're going to do some bits like that, but we'd like to run it through the Meeples Peoples Facebook.
It'd be good to try and get some good publishers, get some people chatting, and I mean we've got this set up now. I think what we're recording this with works quite well.
Yes.
So hopefully we can sort stuff out. But yeah, we're still waiting for comments. We've got viewers. Come on, people, comment. Let us know. What do you want us to do a next top 10 of?
I mean, if nobody votes, I think we're going to do the opposite, haven't we? Once we decide.
We're going to do top 10 hated. I might change up. The thing is, I don't know if I'm going to be so blatant with my top 10 hated. It's one of them.
What do you mean?
Do I go for Scythe as my number one? Because everyone knows I hate that. I might just not add it and just.
No, number 10, Scythe. Number 10. So number 9, Scythe.
Scythe, expansion this, expansion that. all the Scythe expansions.
There's base, and if you do the modular board, there's technically 4 expansions.
Exactly. That's my top 4. That's my top 4 done. There you go.
10. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's finding out 10 games that I'm going to hate. That's my thing.
Yeah. The more see, when I first went to the hobby.
Amy's just messaged on Facebook a good one. Top 10 overpriced games.
Overpriced? Yes, I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can possibly think of 10 already.
Yeah.
I think I own a few of them.
Would it be games that we paid too much for?
No, just generally what they go for.
Have a guess how much I spent on this.
I don't know. But that was the Kickstarter version, wasn't it?
For the retail, I spent to get that and the expansion, Santorini and expansion, Golden Fleece, £85.
So there you go. Wow.
And then they re-released the base game, and you could get the expansion quite easily.
I can't get hold of the expansion. Cannot find it. Cannot find it.
Wow.
So want it.
I've seen it quite a lot of places. So next time I see it, I'll let you know.
I'm not going to mention the games that I'm thinking overpriced, but I know one of them that I can think of a few that are so overpriced. I only own one of them, but
I've definitely got some games behind me that I would say is far too overpriced. In fact, there's one. There's one overpriced game that was just in my top 10 list.
trying to think, is that Terraforming Mars?
Who knows?
Yes, because I know that is overpriced for the poor, shoddy quality of what the base game is.
Prelude is a deck of cards. For goodness sake, it's a deck of... Anyway, let's leave that for another time, because there's some good discussion there.
So, no one's commenting. No, we've had Amy comment. Come on, one more suggestion.
I find it quite funny that that suggestion was from your wife.
Yeah, I know.
She's thinking that you're spending too much on games.
She is. but I can think of a few that I don't own that are overpriced that I will never buy, because I can actually see one of them right behind you right now. That I think's way too overpriced and I wouldn't buy it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's worth it.
But I still think in my mind that's overpriced.
Okay.
I always look at it and I'm like, I'm not spending that amount of money on that.
Okay, I'm going to hide it now so that people don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, but yeah, there's so many. I mean, there's so many games that, I mean, the one I've got, I've paid a lot of money for it, but now to buy it, I think it's crazy price now. I'm not even searching it now, but I'm going to look. But
just leave for another call.
I've got stuff falling off. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that the price of some of the games, especially if they're out of print, it's insane.
I think that's a bit different though if it's out of print.
But that's what I'm going with. I'm going with if it's out of print and what you can buy it for. Yeah,
definitely. Cool. Well, I'll start thinking of that one.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We've always had people watching. It's been good.
Well done, guys.
It's definitely a I think it's been successful.
Yeah.
Give this video a thumbs up. Follow my YouTube channel. Follow Darius's Facebook group when he has a YouTube channel. Follow that. Do you know what? I need to get a Meeples Peoples t-shirt. And a hat.
I want to get a polo shirt. This one looks a bit raggedy. I just want to get a proper nice shirt with a logo.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm getting one for me and Amy for when we record, so we've always got a nice t-shirt.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was going to be wearing my Oncon t-shirt, but I wore it the other day, and literally within about 10 minutes of owning it or wearing it, Erin chucked hot chocolate all over it, or chocolate all over it. So yeah, that instantly got put in the wash.
Oh, what a shame.
But yeah.
Well, next time we're going to have to wear our Oncon tops.
Be luminous green together.
Yes. You do. Yeah. Well, thanks again, Joe.
But yes, appreciate this, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
We will see you in the next video. Hopefully, it will be next week, the next live one. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna do the end screen. Bye.